Hello, and this is my tutorial on what to expect when you're refoaming the outer suspension edge on a Cerwin Vega driver. This particular woofer is built in September 1987. It's a 24-year-old driver. It's a 15.2WD. These are the drivers that you found in their D series. This is a 15-inch driver that was in their D9. So I'm refoaming these for my D9s. As you can see, 24 years does take its toll on foam, and this is very flaky and dry. You can see the way it just peels and falls apart and crumbles apart. So this needs to be done. If you suspect your speakers need to be refoamed, you can do a small test by just compressing the edge just a little bit, and if you see that happen, you know you're in trouble. So you're better to refoam your speaker than to blow it while you're listening, and it could cause coil damage or something else. So we're going to do this one, and I'm going to show you what to expect. This is a simple refoaming. We're not doing recoiling or anything else. Just to let you know that there really isn't any need to pull the dust cap off. Some guys like peeling the dust cap off and putting little stints in the coil to center it. Not necessary. That's a lot of work, and if you do pull the dust cap off, you could be asking for trouble, because if you get any small particles or anything stuffed in between the coil and the motor, the magnet that is, and the center post, you could be asking for trouble, and that's a whole world of pain if you start getting into that. So this is, like I said, just a basic tutorial on what to expect when you're refoaming. Now, I found with research, one of the best places to get replacement surrounds is a place in California called Orange County Speaker. They make really, really good quality surrounds. This is the surround that we're going to be using. And it's a good quality. It's a dark propylene rubber on the inside, and it's got a second layer. Actually, it's not even paint, it's a second layer put on the top to match the Cerwin Vega, original Cerwin Vega colors, so it'll look somewhat like that. Very nice quality. I don't know where they're made, probably in China, but wherever they do make them, they make a real nice quality. So this comes actually with a little instruction booklet that you can use. They also sent new what do you call this bloody thing? I got a brain block, but anyway, the gasket, sorry, gosh. Anyway, they do come with a 4-section gasket. I really, to tell you the truth, like to save this one piece original gasket that comes with these drivers. It's rather nice. And I'll show you how to do that. A lot of people kind of rush through them and they snap them off and whatnot. I'm going to show you how to take that off easily without damaging. So the first thing you want to do is you want to remove the old foam suspension. So I'm going to do that, and once I finish taking this off, I'll start again. Okay, so I've peeled off most of the old surround. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to start taking the excess foam, the base of the original surround that was glued to the speaker. Now what you have to do is, I'm going to place the camera down here. You don't have to, you really want to be careful, because you don't want to puncture your cone with a knife or anything like that. What I do is I slip the knife underneath, just like that. You don't have to be aggressive, and just slowly peel off the top layer. So what happens is you end up, as you go all the way around, you'll end up with a cut layer, like a little loose fibrous layer that you can actually scrape with your fingernail all the way down to the black, and you can finish it by just rubbing it like that, and there you go. When you get results like that, you can actually see the black of the speaker, and you know you're set. If you want to be a little anal, you can scrape the edge. I usually use the back side of the knife to get the excess glue, and you can just peel it off actually if you want. It's not a big deal. There you go. So once you have a nice, neat bead like that all the way around, you can see where it's gone right down to the black. That's what you want to do for the cone. So again, like I said, all you have to do is slip your utility knife in there like that. Don't edge down, just slip it in sideways with a minimal of pressure. Just scoot along like that. And scrape off the top layer, and then again rub with your fingernail. Some guys like to use the back of the knife, and that's fine as well. And there you go. Again, right down to the black, and that's where you want to be. You don't have to go any farther than that. So I'm going to do that for this whole rim here, and then we're going to take the gasket off. Okay, so I've cleared the surface of all of the cone edge with a knife and my fingernail actually, all the way down to the black, all the way around, and that's basically all you need to do. This particular series of woofer that came with the D series has a flat edge, as you can see. Some of the newer Cerwin Vegas actually just have the cone and that's it, it stops there. The surround suspension foam actually has the edge that goes onto the cone. It's a similar thing, but anyway, like I said, since the suspension is completely removed on the top, the cone is basically now suspended primarily by the spider, which is this mechanism right here, and it is what centers the cone and the coil over the center post and in the motor. So you don't want to jostle it around too much. So when you are picking these edges off, you want to kind of support it with your other hand and just pick off the excess edges. Like I said, you don't have to, but I would recommend it. I mean, you never know. You don't want this kind of stuff falling off on the inside and floating around your speaker cabinet, etc., etc. So it doesn't take a lot of extra work just to pull that trim off. So I'm going to finish it up here, and we'll see what it looks like after, and I'll show you how to take the gasket off. Okay, so here we are. All the excess is pulled off. I mean, that's pretty clean. I'm satisfied with that. It's clean enough that the new surround suspension, the foam will adhere to it nicely. Orange County Speakers actually supplies you with a nice, very good quality contact cement. It's really good stuff. This is the kind of glue that you want when you're doing this kind of repair. You do not want the white Elmer's type of glue or paper glue. It bonds, but it does not bond properly. In other words, under pressure, if you want to push your speakers and you want to make sure that your surround actually stays glued to your cone, you want to use this kind of glue. Okay, don't compromise on the glue. A lot of cheaper sets actually send you that kind of glue, and it's so awful. Okay, so I'm going to try to show you how to take off the gasket now. And like I said, the D9 comes with, this woofer comes with a fairly decent looking gasket. It's got like a false leather type of finish to it, but it's a nice gasket, and there's no need to ruin it. And it's so much easier putting it back on when it's one piece. So what you need to do is you basically need to, like I said again, you're dealing with paper, and you're dealing with things here that you don't need to use a lot of pressure when you're using this tool. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get right down to the where the rubber is, right at the base of the gasket, and just gently slip your knife underneath. You're actually slipping it into the foam here, and just lightly, not a lot of pressure, slightly slide it along, slide along. You don't need to glide it up, you don't need to guide it down, whatever. Just follow the gasket, go the whole way. Okay, and don't be jumping the gun and pulling the gasket up when you're halfway or whatever. Just make sure you do at least half before you start to pull the gasket, and I'll show you what happens. Okay, so we're gliding along. As you can see, it's fairly easy. I think the gasket's loose enough now. There it is. You just lightly lift it up, don't force it, and it will actually separate from the rest of the speaker. Work your way down as it lifts. There it is there. Okay, we got a little sticking a little bit there, so I might use the knife there. Again, if it gets too tough to lift it, use the knife, because it will break it. Alright, so I'm going to glide along here, and I'm going to pull up the gasket. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, so this gasket actually gave me a bit of a hard time. It was surprising. There was actually some glue that was stuck in between the outer edge and the gasket itself, so I had to take the knife and kind of slide it in there and cut away the glue that was stuck to the basket and the gasket. But anyway, I got it off nicely, and here we go. And there it is. A one-piece gasket that you want to save. And again, you can lightly rub off the excess. You don't have to slice off the glue. Just use the back of your utility knife or a dull edge butter knife or your fingernail. Try not to compress the gasket. In other words, don't compress it. Just keep it in its shape, and then you'll be happy about that later on. Okay, again, I usually keep compressed air lying around, so if I get little bits and stuff in the speaker cone when I'm cleaning, I can simply just blow it out. Which makes cleaning so much easier. Okay.